amazing guest with us tonight. So our guest this evening is Ana Rodriguez. She is an Academy Solutions Consultant at Smartsheet. Let me make sure she is as a panelist because I didn't click the button properly. But basically, Anna's background is she was able to leverage her classroom experience and STEM and robotics and really bring it into a new space. She was from our cohort number 7. She's honestly, I think you're almost wrapping up your academy part of Smartsheet. So I'll let Anna do a better and formal introduction of herself and share her experience with you all. Thank you for being here, Anna.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hi, Nina. It's good to see you. And hi, Liz. How are you?
Doing well. Great to have you on, Anna.
Yeah, it's good to be here. So as Nina was saying, I am a solutions engineer at Smartsheet. I have been there for about 6 months now. I was in the cohort 7 of the PreSales Academy. So we graduated in March. And soon after that, I got my position at Smartsheet. So I mean, I guess I'll go back to the beginning, right? So prior to changing careers and going into Smartsheet, I was a dual language teacher for about 7 years. And I guess like the number 7 is a lucky number for me because after teaching for 7 years, I went into the cohort number 7 at the PreSales Academy. That was not planned. It just happened to be like that. And it just, further confirms that my lucky number is 7. So as far as like how I found the PreSales Academy, I first learned about the PreSales Academy from a Facebook post, actually, by a former PSA student, Jessica Ashwood, who's actually working at UKG now. And I reached out to Jessica on Facebook, asked her about the program. She spoke very, very highly of the program and everyone involved in it. So then I decided to apply and, went through the round of interview, like Nina mentioned, the whole application process, and I joined cohort 7 in January. I graduated in March, began applying for jobs, and mid-April started my, my interview process at Smartsheet. It was very, very quick. Within, I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks, I started my job at Smartsheet.
You had such a quick turnaround in your role. I'm curious. I feel like everyone would love to hear a little bit more about kind of like what is your role entail at Smartsheet and like how has that process been for you?
Yeah, sure. So I have kind of a different role, I guess, because I went into an academy. So I went from the PreSales Academy to the Smartsheet Academy. And that's kind of how Smartsheet hires now. They kind of want to develop like the product knowledge for new SCs. And so, that I have been in the Smartsheet PreSales Academy for 6 months. And I'm actually joining my team at the end of this month. I just got my assignment. So yeah, at the end of this month, I'll be joining my actual pod. But, as far as going into another academy, that was something that I really wanted. I was really wanting to find an academy just because I wanted to make sure that I was confident with the product that I was going to be talking about. I wanted to make sure that I could, believe in what I am speaking about. And so it's different to go from an academy to another academy, but I think for me, that's really what I wanted.
Yeah. And quick context for other people in the space. So a lot of companies, they'll do a more structured process for their onboarding. They'll refer to it as an academy. So it's different than like pre-sales academy. We are giving you the skills for the profession overall, which you can easily leverage, like with Anna, into an academy role and academy program at a actual SaaS company.
Oh yeah, completely different. And honestly, if I had not had the opportunity at the Pre-Sales Academy, it would have made it way more difficult. I don't even think I would have the opportunity of going into Smartsheet. So just coming from the Pre-Sales Academy and getting that content and like the industry terminology was new to me. So having that foundation really helped me in getting that job at Smartsheet, but also being successful in my ramp up process.
Definitely. I have a quick question for you, Anna. What kind of made you gravitate towards pre-sales, and what kind of keeps you like excited about this profession, especially as you're transitioning into your full role at Smartsheet?
Yeah, so I gravitated towards pre-sales because I was trying to find kind of a balance and also something that I could utilize my skill set, right? I was a teacher, so it's a lot of things that you do on the background, the lesson planning, the actual going in there and teaching the lesson, standing up in front of people, doing development for other teachers, and really just solutioning, right? At any point of the day, if you're a teacher, you're solutioning, right? You get a student and there's 20 kids behind this one student, and everyone has their own special needs that they need to fill. And so for me, going into solutions engineering was a smooth transition in that sense. Obviously, I had a lot of like knowledge gaps when it comes to the content and the industry, but thankfully you guys were there to fill that gap. But as far as like the transition went, I already did a lot of solutioning, so that was kind of pretty smooth for me. As far as like what keeps me excited about my role is that it is always changing. I don't like doing something and that is repetitive. I like when things are new. I like when things are different. And so that's how it is in my job now. Even though I am still in the training process, I guess, it's new every day.
I love that. I love kind of like that fresh aspect of like, hey, never know what's going to come. I feel like that also like requires you to have a bit of flexibility as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can't have like just like a set, I guess, mindset and expect things to be the same all the time. It does require some flexibility, but I think that's something that a lot of people look forward to, like having something to excite them, I guess, in their everyday life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be mindful of our time. I want to, first of all, everyone give a warm round of applause to Anna for sharing her story, sharing her journey. And this question was from Susan. I would love to direct it towards you, Anna, with what were the best methods that you used to study the material outside of the provided homework and assignments? So how did you kind of like pour yourself into the materials and make sure you were learning those concepts well in Pre-Sales Academy?
Yeah, so I think that the way that the academy is set up in 3 stages was very useful for me. And you have a syllabus at the beginning that is provided to you, and you have so therefore you have all of the due dates for the assignments ahead of time, and so that really helps you plan things out. I was able to plan out my entire calendar for the entire time that I was at the Pre-Sales Academy, just from having access to that syllabus at the beginning. So that really allowed me to make sure that I was getting everything that I needed and not overdoing myself, if that makes sense. Also, before joining the cohort, before the cohort began, I was given a list of optional and additional material just to make sure that I had that foundational knowledge coming into the PreSales Academy. So again, with that, I'm a big planner person. I have my big, huge physical planner. And so that really helped me plan things out from the beginning.
Oh, that's great. No, it's always nice to be able to share resources to students before they start the program to give them a head start. I think, especially since we have so many students coming from diverse backgrounds, like we want to set you up for success. And I love that we can give you like the tools, especially as a planner like yourself, to succeed. Thank you for answering that question, Anna. Another question I have in the chat. So I have one about if you don't get into the cohort right away, what should you be doing to prepare? So what I always recommend, especially if you've gone through, let's say you've gone through the admissions process and you do not get admission into PreSales Academy. I want to first point out that admission to PreSales Academy is very competitive. We have about a 25% admittance rate. So it is a really competitive process, but I always recommend to students is thinking about, hey, how can I get feedback from our PreSales Academy staff and think about improving my skills and coming back into the process stronger. I think sometimes those skills that you can work on is first of all, maybe learning a little bit more about the sales process and finding how you can kind of plug and leverage that knowledge. Another thing that I always recommend to students is thinking about how are you increasing your technical skills in topics that are applied to a lot of different SaaS products. Learning about cloud computing or APIs are some really good ways to start. That's usually what we recommend for our students as they're coming into the program, especially if they're not coming from technical backgrounds. And another area you can look into growing your skills is how are you presenting? How are you engaging with an audience? Because that's such a major aspect of the role. But ultimately, what I recommend is always thinking about, hey, how can I position myself to be a stronger candidate in the future and circle back? Other questions in the chat, I'm going to direct this one also to Anna, is what would you say stands out as the most rewarding part of being in pre-sales? And also I'll let Liz chime in after Anna.
The most rewarding part was accepting my job at Smartsheet because it all paid off, you know. I mean, I cannot, and nobody paid me to come on here and, you know, talk, you know, about the PreSales Academy or anything like that. I am truly, truly grateful for the PreSales Academy, the way that also coming from education, the way that it is organized, the way that they pick out the topics that are most important for you to know about, surrounding me with all the people that I needed in my life to not only cheer me on, but to guide me and to coach me. My coach was actually in India for a majority of the time that I was at the PreSales Academy, and he would wake up in the middle of the night to get on Zoom with me and coach me. And so really just surrounding myself with all of these amazing people, and having the knowledge that the content that I am learning comes from experts. That was also very rewarding for me. But, you know, the biggest thing is that I know that there are a lot of boot camps out there, but I have a lot of friends who have gone through boot camps that are all online, and I'm the only one that has been successful in my career change. And now I recommend the PreSales Academy to everyone. So yeah, I think that was the most rewarding part.
I love to hear it. And we'll end on you, Liz.
I have a really hard time following that up. In terms of what I found has been rewarding in my, like I mentioned, I've been in this for over a decade. Other than the variety, it's the type of work that we do and the type of people that we get to work with.
Sure.
I love being able to work alongside other pre-sales professionals who, first and foremost, are some of the most curious, some of the most humble, some of the most hardworking, and some of the most just like smart individuals that like you would know. And just being around those folks elevates you and wants you to, and you want to do better. And then you get to solution on top of it and like be creative at the same time. And I just can't think of, we spend so much of our lives working. I can't find a better way to spend all those hours of the day than being around incredible people and doing incredible things.
Well said, Liz. That is a perfect note to end this conversation at. We are at our time.